Good afternoon. It is Sunday, Mother's Day. It is 6 o'clock and it's time for church. And I just wanted to welcome y'all. I hope y'all have had a wonderful day, got to spend time with your mama, or mama's got to spend time with their children. I have had a whole great week ever since last Sunday. I've been celebrating Mother's Day one way or another. Still haven't got to see all of my children, but I've gotten to see some of them. I actually got to go to church with some of them last Sunday. Got to go to supper with some of them Friday night, which was wonderful. We ate at the Olive Garden. And then I got to go to church with more of them this morning, and then went and had lunch. Had a barbecue type thing, homemade ice cream. It was wonderful. And I'm just blessed beyond measure. And so I know y'all have heard this. Let me turn around just a little bit. Okay. I know y'all have heard. I think everybody preaches or speaks on Proverbs 31 for Mother's Day, verses 10 through 31. And but I had somebody say something a few weeks ago that made me think about this in a different way. Yes, those are excellent attributes for any young woman to work toward. Well, older women too. But there's even a ministry, Proverbs 31 ministry, to help women be the woman of God that they're supposed to be. But somebody brought out something the other day, and it gives it a little bit more of a slant of how that whole chapter came to be. So I want to read that to y'all, and I want to talk to you about it a little bit. The first section of it is titled The Words of Lemuel, Lemuel, and I'm assuming I'm saying that right. And verse 1 says, The words of King Lemuel, a pronouncement that his mother taught him. Now, his mother, if I remember correctly, his mother was Bathsheba, who was one of King David's wife, and she was the one who was married before, and King David seduced her and had her husband killed, and she married King David because she was pregnant, and they lost that baby, but they had other children. So this is one of their children, King Lemuel. And it says king, so at one point he was king after his father David. I believe that's correct. Now, if that's not correct, I find different, I'll put it in the comments. Or if you know different, put it in the comments so we can know. Because I don't like to say things incorrectly. I want to know that what I'm saying is correct. So if I'm wrong, please help me get that straightened out so that we're not misleading somebody. But either way, this is a good thing to study. So, verse 31, the words of King Lemuel, a pronouncement that his mother taught him. What should I say, my son? What, son of my womb? What, son of my vows? Don't spend your energy on women or your efforts on those who destroy kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to desire beer. Now, that's telling me that people who want to lead in any kind of way, rulers, politics, anybody, they need to keep a clear mind. And one way to do that is to make sure you're not drinking anything that clouds your mind. We all know that. I'm not going to tell you whether it's wrong for you to drink beer or alcohol or anything like that or not. I can't for a lot of different reasons. One thing, and you're going to think I'm being funny, but I'm too cheap to drink any kind of alcoholic beverages. But if you want to keep a clear head, you don't need to be drinking anything that will cloud your mind. And so that's what this says. Verse 4, it is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to desire beer. Now that word desire, that makes it sound like something that they're running after all the time. Verse 5, otherwise he will drink, forget what is decreed, and pervert justice for all the oppressed. Give beer to one who is dying, and wine to one whose life is bitter. So, giving beer to one who is dying, that would help comfort them in their last hours, maybe help them not to be in so much pain. And wine to one whose life is bitter, wine would be something that would dull your senses so that you're not thinking about the bad things you're going through. Let him drink so that he can forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all who are dispossessed. Speak up, judge righteously, and defend the cause of the oppressed and needy. Now, this next section is the one that's about a godly woman, a wife of noble character, and that's who we would want our sons to marry. And I'm going to tell you now, I am blessed with two wonderful daughters in love. I don't call them daughters-in-law. I have two wonderful daughters in love. They are perfect for my sons. I could not have picked better if I had gone out and looked for myself. Each of them is an excellent spouse to my sons. They are exactly what each of my sons needs. They are hard workers. They are smart. They are beautiful. They are good mamas. They are good daughters-in-law. They honor their own mothers and take care of their family. They are excellent. They are excellent. And I would put them up against anybody. But what this is saying is, you need to find a woman, a wife of noble character. But in order to do that, you have to be a man of noble character. A man who is not what he's supposed to be will never be worthy of a wife of noble character. So now let me read what it says about this, and you listen and see if you don't think this would be someone that you would want your son to marry. And let me say this, there's a thing going around, I've seen it several times, and it says, strong women, may we be them, may we raise them, and something else. And I always add, and may our sons marry them. Strong women. There's nothing wrong with being a strong woman. If a man can't handle that, you don't need to be around him. If he can't handle you being strong, then you don't need to be around him. So, starting in verse 10, in praise of a wife of noble character, that's the subtitle. Who can find a woman of noble character? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will not lack anything good. She rewards him with good, not evil, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from, from far away. She rises while it's still night and provides food for her household and portions for her female servants. Now, I know for a long time it was traditional for the man to go out and work and the woman to stay home and take care of the home. And men would say, well, I don't want my wife working. Well, he had never stayed at home and watched what his wife did during all that time. She might not have been going somewhere and earning a paycheck, but if she was taking care of a household and children, she was working all day long. The old saying, a man's work is from sun till sun, but a woman's work is never done. And that is true if she's trying to take care of a household, run a household efficiently, and take care of children, make sure they're where they need to be and doing what they're supposed to be doing and all that. Any woman who can do that is a strong woman. And yes, daddy needs to be helping mama with these. It doesn't need to be just mama. It needs to be mama and daddy. So, all right, verse 16. She evaluates a field and buys it. She plants a vineyard with her earnings. Her earnings. She draws on her strength and reveals that her arms are strong. She sees that her profits are good and her lamp never goes out at night. That means she is prepared. She has got oil set aside, not just in the lamps, but extra oil set aside in case she needs it. She extends her hands to the spinning staff, and her hands hold the spindle. Her hands reach out to the poor, and she extends her hands to the needy. She is not afraid for her household when it snows, for all in her household are doubly clothed. Now, the King James Version says clothed in scarlet, which that was a real expensive type of material that you were warm if you had it. So all in her household are doubly clothed. They've got enough clothes to keep them warm. Verse 22, she makes her own bed coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. And purple was a color denoting royalty because it was expensive to use. So if you had purple things, it meant you were well off. Verse 23, her husband is known at the city gates, where he sits among the elders of the land. Now, one way to make sure that your husband was respected back then and even today was you showed him respect. The wife showed the husband respect and acted like an adult in public or in front of other people, so that you were not thought of as a woman. You know the word I'm thinking. Not one of those women. You were an honorable woman. You treated your husband with respect. Your children behaved, and not somebody that was running like a wild person up and down the grocery store aisles, and you're out screaming at your husband and carrying on and all this kind of stuff. Her husband was known at the city gates, and he was able to sit among the elders because he was respected, and he was that way because she was respected. She makes and sells linen garments. She delivers belts to the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she can laugh at the time to come because she's prepared. Her mouth speaks wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the activities of her household and is never idle. Her children rise up and call her blessed, and her husband also praises her. Many women have done noble deeds, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Give her the reward of her labor, and let her works praise her at the city gates. Now, this is what I'm going to say. If we have daughters, we want to raise them to be godly, honorable women who are worth having an honorable man. And if we have sons, we want to raise those sons so they know how to treat women right, and so that they can see the value of an honorable woman, that they're not going to be running around with women who all they do is run the streets. And again, you know what I'm talking about without me getting into too much detail. We want our daughters to be honorable, and we want our sons to marry honorable women. And again, in order for them to do that, they have to be honorable. So we need to be about praying for our children. If your children are grown like mine are, I'm praying for my grandchildren. My youngest grandson is 16 months old, and my youngest granddaughter is just a little over a year old. And I'm praying for their spouses now. If Jesus tarries and doesn't come before those children get grown and marry, I'm praying for their spouses now, that they find godly spouses who want to serve God with them and encourage them and pray for each other and be who they're supposed to be, that people can look on them and know who they are. You want your children to have a good name, and that's how you do it, is by them being honorable people. You can give all the money in the world, you can do all these things, but if you are not a respectable person, you're not going to have a good name. I mean, that's just the way it is. I want my children and my grandchildren to be married to honorable people, and I want them to be honorable people. I want them to find someone that is somebody they can take anywhere and be proud to have them on their arm, and people will know who they are by the way they behave. Now, that's all I've got to say, except I hope y'all had a wonderful Mother's Day. I did. God bless y'all. Don't forget, if you need prayer, please let me know. You can message me on here, or you can send it to my personal page. There are just so many things going on. So many things. Don't forget the light show that may be out tonight, the Northern Lights, probably between 9 and 10, if it's available, if everything's right. Friday night, everybody got a lot of good pictures. I didn't get a chance to see it, so I want to try to see it tonight. And that's one of those things. I always love seeing stuff like that, because that's part of God's creation. And somebody can say it's not all they want to. Well, they've come too late to tell me You can believe what you want to. I know what I believe, and I know who I believe in. So anyway, y'all have a great afternoon. Have a good week, and I will see y'all later on this week.